Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. My name is Dada.
And my name is Diana Renee. And if you haven't subscribed to our channel, please do so by clicking the subscribe button. You can also share this video, like it, and do not forget to also share your comments and your thoughts with us in the comment section.
So today we'll be reviewing Stay With Me by Ayobami Adebayo.
So Ayobami Adebayo is a Nigerian author. She holds a BA and MA in Literature and English from Femi University. She also has a MA in Creative Writing from University of East Anglia. And then this book was first published by Penguin Random House, and then but this edition was published by Reader Publishers here in Nigeria.
Stay With Me was shortlisted for the 2017 Bailey's Women's Prize, and it was also shortlisted for the Wellcome Book Prize.
And for Nine Mobile
Prize for Literature.
Yeah.
It also has been longlisted for the International Dylan Thomas Prize, and there are a whole lot of other recognitions that this book has gotten and received, and we think it's well deserved.
Yes.
Stick around to find out why. Stay With Me is set in Ilesha, Osun State, Nigeria, and it focuses on Yejide and Akin, who are a Nigerian couple who had difficulty conceiving in their marriage, and it tells the story of what the wife goes through, the extent, the lengths, the things she does just to get pregnant for her husband, and then eventually a new wife is brought into the home, and it just takes us through that journey and a lot of secrets. It exposes a lot of things, and it's deep.
This book is such a deep read. I mean, it has so much depth in it. I went through a range of different emotions while I was reading this. I was angry.
Anger. That was the most prominent.
I was sad. I was happy.
Happy?
And at the end of the whole thing, it left me with real strong, thought-provoking questions like, how far would you go to save your marriage? How far would you go for your children? How far would you go to save your home, your family? It's a wonderful read. There are many things I like about it, but we'll share that
as we go along
this discussion. So the book has two timelines, the past and present. So it takes you in the past and the present and back and forth. It begins with the present, and we see our main character, that is Yejide. She's preparing to embark on a journey back to Ilesha. She's currently in Just, and she's preparing to go back to Ilesha. We don't know why. It doesn't say why. And then in the next chapter, it takes us back to the past. So I like around 1980, the 80s in Nigeria. Yeah. So I like how Ayobami was able to write, put two timelines together without you feeling like
lost
and
wondering what's going on.
Yeah. So you might want to talk about the characters in the book.
So I'll just continue with Yejide. Yejide was painted as a naive woman who got married early, and when she got married, she had a lot of insecurities because of the background she had. She's an orphan, and I think she was in a polygamous family, and the other her stepmoms didn't treat her like a part of the family, and that kind of reflected on her personality, even going forward, even into her adulthood. And it just goes to show how much your family background actually impacts on a person as you go into life, basically. And then moving on to our husband Akin, who is my least favorite character of the book. He's a terrible person. I don't know how else to put it. And he took advantage of Yejide's naivety and married her quickly, and obviously she was clueless as to what sex was about. And when it was after a few years into the marriage and they had no child, she had no clue that the reason why she was not getting pregnant was because her husband was not capable of impregnating her. and
It was impotent.
yeah, and
It was
then
impotent. Yeah.
we would go through all the things that she went through. Her mother-in-law took her to several places,
Yeah.
to mountains, to pray to, I don't know, false prophets, to ritualists.
And then, sorry, in the
Doctors.
second chapter where her in-law, her own stepmother and her husband's
Family.
uncle brought in a new wife to the house and imposed that
Yeah.
this is
This
your
is a new
husband's
wife.
new wife, and Vijide just lost her mind.
But
Like he
but what
was,
confused me about that was the fact that Akin knew that he was not capable of
Yeah.
impregnating
Yeah.
another woman, and he still went ahead and married another wife. Like you should have known that that babe would have exposed him, like because Yejide was naive, but Fumi is the second wife. Fumi was a woke babe.
Yes.
So after she was married to him, and then months down the line,
She also didn't.
they hadn't even consummated
Yeah.
the marriage, and then eventually Yejide takes him. And then you want to talk about how that happened.
Okay.
Miraculous conception.
Okay, so Yejide goes on to a mountain. She goes to a mountain to pray and everything. So for me, I was actually even convinced after reading that part that the prayers actually worked, because she went to one mountain she dragged the goats up one hill for how many days or whatever,
and the next thing
she
bam,
starts. She suffered a false pregnancy where she thought she was a phantom pregnancy. Yeah, where she thought she was pregnant, and it was all in her mind. She had
I didn't know there was such a thing as I read this.
Oh yeah. There's something called phantom pregnancy where you have all the symptoms of pregnancy and everything, but you're not pregnant. So she was seeing a psychiatrist. She actually had mental issues at that time, and then lo and behold, she became pregnant for real. And I was happy because I thought, the prayers have worked.
Because at that point
They will leave her alone. At
that point,
she has a child.
we didn't know that Akin was.
We didn't know that there were
at that
many dark secrets in this book. So anyway, and then she had a child, and the child was diagnosed with sickle cell, and that whole thing just exposed so many things. And then the second wife now went to ask the husband the day of the naming ceremony. The second wife went to ask the husband, Uncle, I know you cannot do something because
I've
you've
tried.
You've been married and nothing has happened. So how is it that your first wife, is pregnant? And then he kills her. Yes, he kills her.
I did not see that.
I didn't see that one coming. He kills her, and they just
made it
put
look like
it
it was
under
an
wraps.
accident.
Just put that one. Yejide, after how many days of having the child, Yejide loses the child. She didn't even know that the child had sickle cell anemia and all of that. And
then shortly after,
she got pregnant again. And I'm like, there's this saying that once your womb opens, many more kids will be coming in. So I was like, I think that's part of the book. I was now happy, hey, my protagonist is doing well and everything. And only for us to read towards the end, and just found out that there are really dark secrets. See what it is.
So what happened was, the reason why Ejide could conceive was because her husband's younger brother, Dotun, was helping them. So it turns out that Akin kind of sets Ejide up. So because of his condition, he used to travel a lot from Ilesha to Lagos for medical attention. And one of those times he visited Lagos, where his younger brother and his family lived, he approached his brother with his problem and then begged him to help protect his dignity by impregnating his wife. And his brother came.
And then he convinced his brother that his wife is aware of it.
Aware, yeah.
And is fine with it.
Which was a lie.
It was a lie.
But then, that was how the first pregnancy happened. And then subsequent ones, she was okay. She wanted it. At that point, I think she stopped caring.
Yeah.
And was it before the second pregnancy? Was that when she knew that her husband was in on it?
No, it was the third
She
one.
doesn't care.
Yeah, it was after the second child. I think it was after when they diagnosed the second child with sickle cell that
Again.
Dotun now came to confess to her that this is what it is, or this is why I came to seduce you and all of that, because your husband asked me to. And I think Giddy just gave up on that. And this book is also very political, because if you're familiar with the 80s in Nigeria, you know that's where it does, the military rule and all the coups, Buhari's coup and all of them all happening. So everything was infused in the book, and then it played a strong part of why the story, yes, it played a strong part of the story.
So basically she lost the second child, and then she had another child who was sickle cell again, and then this is the part where it tells us how she ended up in Jos. So she had this hair business, and then sometime she when she had her third child, she wanted to travel for a wedding with her friend Yabolu, and she said she was not going to travel with her daughter. So her husband had to travel to Lagos with the daughter, and then while she was in Jos for the wedding, her husband calls that her daughter has a fever and they can't get to the hospital because of the riots that was going on outside. And at that point, she just felt her daughter was going to die. Her name is Rotimi, and that's the meaning of Rotimi is "Stay with me," which is the title of the book. So she kind of like just decided, okay, you know what? There's nothing to go back to. I'm in a marriage that is like built on lies, and then I've lost the one thing that could have made me come back. But then she was wrong, because the child didn't die, the child survived, and she didn't even know until many years down the line, when she has to now go back to Elisha for an event. So it just like kind of like tells a story about family, because of what happened, the brother-in-law, being the father of the children, there was like a rift between the brothers, and then they became enemies, and their mother could not understand why, and I think she just kind of like just blamed it all on the wife. That she had a feeling the wife was the one that caused it, but she couldn't put her hand to what exactly caused it. So I like how this book addresses a range of societal issues and certain issues that we tend to even sweep under the carpet, like impotency in men, like mental health issues, sickle cell issues, and a bunch of other things.
There's also for me, I really loved the political how she wrote about Nigeria, the political era, and theme of politics in the book. I also loved how she used a lot of proverbs, a lot of folklore, like a lot of tradition. Stay With Me, the title of the book, actually even tells its own story, all the characters. So it's an appeal. Stay With Me is an appeal from Yejide to her husband. Please stay with me, because he was going to marry another wife. It's also from Akin to Yejide. Stay with me because she was tired of the marriage. She wanted to leave.
It's also an appeal to the children.
Yejide is appealing to her children. Stay with me. Her children, her daughter, that's Rotimi, the last one that Yejide didn't even know was alive. It's like, Mom, stay with me, because Yejide lost motherly love for the last child, who actually now was alive. So I love that about the book.
The title was a recurring theme.
You could see throughout the book. I also loved how she played with the issue of Abiko, and sickle cell. So the children were dying of sickle cell anemia, and the traditional mother-in-law is saying, "Oh, the children are Abiko children." So if you're non-Nigerian, Abiko children are children that are born and then they die, and then another one they go and call back, and then the child comes back like reincarnation. It comes back and dies again. So that's what Abiko is about. And they try to say, from the traditional view, it's an Abiko child, but from the medical view, child has sickle cell. So
So how would you rate this book?
This honestly is one of my favorite reads for this year. So I'd give this book a 10.
Wow. It's actually difficult not to find something that you don't like about this book, to be honest. So if I would rate it, because 10 is just too, I'll give it a 9. But it's a really good book, and if you stuck around till this point and you've not read the book, never mind the spoilers, you really should pick it up and read it. It is absolutely worth every minute that you spend reading. So yeah, so if you read the book, let us know what you think in the comment section. Let's keep the conversation going. We would really like to know what you think about the book.
Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. Do not forget to subscribe to our channel, like this video, share, and also follow us on social media, Twitter and Instagram at A Bookish Pair. See you in our next video. Bye.